Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If everything goes according to plan, this will be the second video I upload today. This is a video that I mentioned briefly. Excuse me one second, please. Sorry, I had an air bubble in my throat. This is a video I mentioned briefly that is a special video away from the walkthrough that I wanted to talk about. So why don't I address it real quick? We're going to be on the ice this episode, just to go look at some things. So let's go ahead and hop on. Go ahead and turn on my timer so I know where I'm at. Alright. Then once we get in, I'll introduce what we're doing today. Okay, start that off. Go to the commons. That'll be a good place to start, probably. Alright, I hope you guys are all doing very well today. Oh, this is a busy realm. Let's go ahead and get into a realm that's a little less populated. I like Falmea, that sounds like a good realm. Alrighty, so what are we doing today? Today I'm going to be going over what I like to call 10 helpful hints. Just some little things that I've picked up throughout the time that I played this game that might help new players and old players alike. If you get anything out of this video, then it was worth it. But we'll jump right into it. The first helpful hint that I have is to use the chest as frequent as you can and store like everything in there. Let me show you my chest first, and then I'll explain what all you should store in there. So, opening my chest, or the bank, chest, bank, same thing. So you have your regular bank where you can store stuff for your character. I mean, I store like pack gear that I'm probably never going to use, but don't want to get rid of in that. But in the shared bank is what I mostly mean. So what I think you should store in this shared bank is the couple of the main things are all of your ingredients, or reagents, ingredients, whatever they're called. Reagents, yeah. Store everything in here because all of your characters are going to have crafting and they're all going to need these reagents. So let's go find something like cattails. Like I've got 658 cattails in here from all of my wizards, and if I ever need cattails, I will have a mass amount in here. What else do I have a lot of? Is it blood moss? No. Let me think for a second. Diamonds. I got 121. That's a lot of diamonds, and these are pretty hard to get. So just use the bank, store all your reagents in there. So whenever you're crafting, you can just pop over in your bank. And on the thing of crafting, real quick, I like having on all my wizards having all of their crafting stations right beside the bank, so you can just go bang bang and get crafting situated. But also in the shared bank, I think you should also store all your pet snacks. Like I mentioned first episode, I've got 500 cantaloupe, over 500 wheat bread, and over 500 fancy yogurts. Like these are all mega snacks, but store them in your shared bank. So, and then pop like 40 or 50 or however many you can onto your wizards at a time. And so then whenever you're done leveling up that wizard or training pets on that wizard, just pop them in your shared bank for the next guy. Also, these kind of like golden pizza, they're not very good. They only give 7 pet talents, things, I guess you could say. But again, these are like just straight up gold makers. You can sell 100 of these and get like, I don't know, 30, 40,000 gold. And like, that's a good way of transferring gold from character to character. Jelly bean, same thing. What else should you store in here? I like storing all of my jewels. So let me find an example. Like this. Well, that actually, I need to take that off of this guy, or off the bank. but let me find a better example. Like this right here, fire. I'm on my ice right now, so I have no use of this, but if I got it on my ice, throw it in here, and then my fire, whenever I'm on him, can take it out and use it. So I like storing all of my jewels in here to be able to transfer from wizard to wizard. Another really important thing is pets. Transferring pets from wizard to wizard in the bank, shared bank, is super helpful. I made all of my energy pets, because all 7 of my wizards have them. I made all 7 of my energy pets on my ice wizard, and then just transferred them to all of my other characters. So that's one thing that is super, super valuable. Take advantage of the chest with items as well. Like if you have a myth only item, transfer it to your myth. Like that in episode 1 of my walkthrough, I pointed out how my myth has the Morgantha theme, and that is because I got it on my ice. My myth is not even at Morgantha yet, but if you get a good piece of gear, transfer it. Don't just like sell it or trash it or anything. If it's a rare piece of gear, just transfer it to your bank, and then when you're... I didn't even have a myth for the longest time, but I just threw all my myth stuff in there just in case I ever decided to make one. And then when I did, I just gave it to them. And now they have it. Saves a lot of farming, and it's just a good thing to do. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next helpful hint, the second helpful hint I have. And you might know because of where I'm going, but let's see. If you haven't got it yet, we're approaching the place now. The Bazaar. This is probably a pretty common one. I do see a lot of people on YouTube videos though that whenever they get gear, they just quick sell it. And if you have max gold or don't need any gold, that's fine because it's easier to do. But if you are ever struggling for gold, it is so much better to sell it here because you'll get so much more. Let me see if I can find an example real quick. Is there anything I could sell? Like let's say I want to sell the choice Calamir lid, whatever this thing is. A little weird little helmet thing. So if I were to sell it on quick sell, I would get 958. For me, that would not be a terrible idea because I do not currently need the gold, but just to show you an example. So 958, or I could sell it here and get 3,823. I'm gonna go and do that too because I'm here. But I recommend if you ever need gold, stop selling at quick sell. Sell to the Bazaar. And if you're going to quick sell, what's an even better idea, and this is something I was not going to mention, but like some things can't be auctioned. For example, like this little hammer you can see on this item. Is there a way I can get it to stay up there? This little hammer right here, this thing means no auction. So for those kind of items, you have to quick sell, or what I would like to do is take it. So I cannot quick sell, or I cannot sell this thing in the Bazaar. The helpful helm, this thing. So instead of quick selling it, I'd feed it to my pet. And I don't know if it'll give an example. Yeah, it did. So it actually gave me 2,000 gold and a Grendelweed. So if you're going to quick sell, I recommend feeding your pet because you actually get a little bit of reagents or treasure cards or stuff. But again, Bazaar selling is so much more efficient for gold buildup. So let's move on to the third helpful hint. For this one, we'll go to the commons. Here we go. Okay, so we're at the commons, and this is not just strictly the commons, but all of what's the word? Every world's like commons area. And this is something that I kind of stopped doing after the first like 5 worlds or so. But whenever you get a new world, find Zeke as fast as possible, get his quest, and then go along your questing through the main quest line. Because if you have Zeke's quest, you can build it as you go. And especially for worlds that have some of the Zeke quest items trapped in dungeons that are required for the main quest, it just saves a lot of time. So let me show you like Like if I went to Dragonspire, probably have enough time to run a Dragonspire. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta make it quick. But if I were to run to Dragonspire, quickly, Dragonspire has one dungeon called the Labyrinth, or I think it's the Labyrinth. Might be Labyrinthian, but I'll find out very shortly. Let's go and run to Dragonspire. In Dragonspire, for the Zeke quest, you have to find all of the hidden stone roses, and one of the stone roses is tucked away in the dungeon I'm speaking about, and it's tucked away at the end of this dungeon, and this dungeon takes like 2 hours to complete. It's ridiculous how long it takes for the level you go in at. It's just so many battles, so many boss battles, and I've done this on a few characters where I really was kicking myself because it's like, I don't want to do this all over again, but if I want to get this training point from Zeke, I will have to. So I'm approaching the Labyrinth now. Go ahead and collect that. And then this right here. Like, this dungeon is an example of one. I think there's also a really bad one in Mushu, if I remember correctly, but just get Zeke's quest right when you start a world, so you don't have to do these dungeons twice. Like, I wonder, will it tell me the hint?
You are about to enter a dungeon. If you log out or leave for more than 30 minutes, you will lose all of the progress you have made in this dungeon and must start over. This dungeon takes around 2 hours to finish, shorter if you bring friends. Are you sure you want to enter this dungeon?
So, as that voiceover said, it takes around 2 hours to finish. I do not know how many of you want to do a 2-hour dungeon twice just to get that Zeke quest out of your inventory and get that training point. But I could be wrong. So I recommend you get the Zeke quest every world you enter, as long as you want to do them. I stopped doing them after a while because there's only so many spells I need, or think I need. But then we'll move on to the fourth helpful hint I have, and that is actually same situation. The fourth one is don't waste training points early on. There is a fix to this, but to avoid having to deal with this fix, just try to either know what path you're going to take for what spells you're going to get, or just hold off until you learn more about the game. Because like Storm, early on, everyone, at least I feel like everyone did this. Early on, I was an Ice Wizard on my first account, and Ice Wizards do like 0 damage compared to Storm. And Storm has Storm Shark, so it's like, ooh, Storm Shark, real powerful. Want to get Storm Shark, it's better than Snowman. But if you go ahead and train into a second school just for damage spells, you're not going to end up outputting as much damage as you think. Maybe a benefit for like the first few worlds, maybe first 2 worlds, but once you start getting damage gear and leveling up, you're just not going to keep going in that second school. So I would recommend using your training points to get, I can show you on my character too, getting spells like get death spells, get all of them all the way up to faint. That's a really good thing to do. For some schools, some people want to take life to Satyr. I used to do that, but once you get to the higher worlds, you really don't want to be healing if you're not a healing school. For ice people for people that are not ice, get Tower Shield. That's one you can train into. But you also want to have your training points to get things like Elemental Blade, Spirit Blade. Reshuffle is an important one. And then all of these like strong, giant, monstrosity enchants. You want to have it for those, for Sharpen, for Potent. And this is just a rough estimate. Epic. You want to save your training points for the spells that actually will benefit you in the long run, rather than just going into a second school early on to get more damage up front. And if you do have this mess up, you can go over here to Mr. Lincoln and you can buy back your training points at a ridiculous amount of crowns, but they do have membership benefits where you can buy back for free. But to avoid it, just don't spend them early on until you know exactly what spells you want. And there's many guides out there about what each wizard should have spell wise, and I may even make one of those way in the future. Who knows? But that is the fourth thing. The fifth thing I cannot show you. Well, I could probably show you, but the fifth helpful hint I have is have a second account that you can store all your treasure cards in and trade treasure cards with your account. So let's see if I can find my guy. Yep, this guy. I haven't been on him in a while, so it was like looks like that, but this is one of them too. So I just use these guys. They're like level 2 or 3 or whatever, and just pump them full of your treasure cards that you do not think you need. I probably need to do it again, but let's see. Like Brimstone Revenant. This is a really good spell to learn for fire, but I'm not a fire, and I will never need to be a fire or have Brimstone, so I will probably trade that. But the main thing I use these second accounts for is to trade empowers. These things sell for like 2,000 a piece. They are super valuable. They are like a currency in this game, and just stockpiling these and selling them as you need gold, or on, I think it's called Gamma's Trading Post, is also pretty big. You can even trade these for like packs and stuff. So just have a second account to where you can store these, and unless you need to sell them, but they're good to store. And you don't want to have them stored on this account, for example, because they will take up a ton of your TC space and it'll just lead to headaches. So have a second account strictly dedicated to holding treasure cards. Let's think. Okay, that should be enough for number 5. Moving on to number 6, we'll go this way. Trying to go through kind of quick because I got a lot to talk about, and hope I'm not rushing too fast for y'all. But if you need to go back and stuff, that there will be timestamps and rewatch certain parts if you get lost or anything. But number 6, we go here. This is a place we can go. And the reason I have all of these pets right here, got all these pretty decent pets. None of them are like perfect stats or anything. They could be eventually, but they are all just really good pets, is because every time I level up, I run here and I pump my pets full. Not in this game, actually. This is my one account that doesn't use a dance game. But just pump your pets right before you level up. Use all your energy. Pump them full of, like, hit the skip game thing after you get like the 25 wins. And pump all of your energy with the mega snacks or snacks that you have into your pet. Level up. Come back here right when you level up. Pump them full again. And then by the time you're about to level up again, you'll have a little bit of time building up to get more energy. And just pump them up again. Level up, pump them up. And just like a cycle. And that way you're never having to spend money on energy elixirs, because you'll always be progressively leveling up your pets. Another thing I would really recommend is do some like PvP or something like that, and get an energy set, or get like pieces of energy gear that drops places. And then before you level up, throw that on, level up. You have a ton of energy, pump your pets full, take it off, level up, or like quest up some more. When you get close to leveling up again, go pump them full, throw on your energy gear, level up, pump them full again, and then go back to questing. It's a tedious cycle, but if you do it for so long, you'll get so many good pets. It's so easy. And even if you do not want pets like that or whatever, you don't need pets. Another thing you can do, and what I've started doing on my ice, every time you get close to leveling up, go pump your energy into fishing, and then level up and pump your energy back into fishing. Takes a while to do fishing, but it still is a way to save energy. Could also use it for gardening if you forgot to check your plants, and if you hop on for the day, didn't check your plants, and just pump your pet full of XP. I've done that a few times. Well, before you level up, throw on your energy gear, level up, go check your plants, and then you're good to go. So just strategically using your energy. So like number 6 is strategically using your energy before and after level ups. And we're getting close to 20 minutes and we're on number 7, so let's keep going. Number 7 is know what to purchase early on. And when I say this, I don't mean like go buy treasure cards and stuff. I mean like go to the crown shop, like early on in the game, your first account, your first wizard on the account. The first thing you should go get, save up money for, put overload. Go here, go to mounts, scroll to the bottom. Find any of these guys, click on them. Like Royal Lioness, for example, click on him. Come on, game. And then you see, oh, 10,000 crowns. That is a ton of money for this guy, right? No, no, no. This little gold section right here, click that. Click that. And then bam, popped up a bunch of things you can buy with gold. And you gotta get a permanent mount early on. It'll save you so much time. You'll go like so much faster through questing. You can get the dragons or horses or brooms or tigers or lions or whatever, and it'll make you so much faster. People like to also buy houses early on. I strongly recommend you do not buy a house early on for gold, unless you already have your mount figured out. But once you get your mount, you can buy a house. I recommend the first house you get is a red barn farm. And remember, guys, don't buy with crowns. These things are overpriced, and you're going to be paying so much money to get these houses you can just farm up gold for and get for 0 real-life dollars. So, mounts first off for your new characters. Once you got a permanent mount, hop over to housing, if that's the next thing you want, and get the red barn farm. All of my characters have permanent mount and red barn farm, so after that, if you have spare gold, you can buy like one of these fancy houses if you just want to do it for decorations or whatever. That's fine, but that's super important. And then another thing you should buy early on in gold is Bazaar gear until you hit level 30. But Bazaar gear is another place you really want to spend your gold, because the gear you get from like Wizard City and Crocotopia, they have added these like new sets that are pretty decent, but I still, for my first 30 levels, will buy Bazaar gear, and it will hold me off till I unlock Olympia and Mount Olympus, and then that gear will hold you till Waterworks, and then so on. But so number 7, know what to spend your gold on, or purchases on early. Permanent mount into houses, into Bazaar gear. So let's go ahead and move on to number 8. We'll go to a different world for this one. This actually might be a good thing to show off. This music in Wizard City is so good, though. While we're heading to the other world, I want to point out my last video. The first video I recorded today was a walkthrough video, and it did not have game sound for whatever reason. Again, super new at this whole thing, trying to tweak out bugs so I don't have that happen in the future. But either way, it's something you guys can look at and tell me if you like less game sound or not. And if you, I would imagine everyone wants game sound, but if you like the peace and quiet with just me speaking, let me know. But if you also are, if you miss the game sound, which I imagine you will, also let me know. So number 8, I will touch on now that we're here, is know what quests are important and which ones can be skipped. So King's Isle, not too long ago, added this feature where it has like these stars. This has been a little bit ago, but these stars in the corner, and these are main quest like markers. They tell you what you need to do to get to world to world to world. And the ones that do not have the little stars are not main quests. You need to skip most of those These things are crafting quests are also very important. Anything that shows this little symbol down here is a training point quest are very important. So you want to do anything that has this little symbol, the star symbol, or there's a few other quests that don't have symbols I'm going to talk about for a second. So in this 3 points place, when you get to Azteca, any kind of quest that opens up a spell, a place to make get spells at, is super important. Like this Moon School trainer, you cannot access unless you do the quest to get to it. And I'm not saying the Moon School is important, but anything that opens up spells is pretty important. This one is the star. This one's very important. You get your they call it Aurora. So like your little bubble that's only for you. Those are really important. And out of these three in Azteca, this is the most important one right here. The Sun School, you definitely want to get this one. But look up online, how do you unlock this spell, and it'll give you a quest line. It'll look like a side quest at first, but if you go through with it and do that whole side quest tree, I guess you would call it, you'll unlock these obelisks where you can get spells. And there's some more. There's some in one in Celestia, in the, what is it called? Floating? Is it the floating land? It's the one where it's like a beach. There's one that side quest is super important there. There is some in Zafaria, Drum Jungle. There's a few places that there's side quests that are not marked as crafting quest or training point quest or main quests that are important to do. But for my ice, I would like to mention I have done so many side quests. I've done the first 7 worlds completely full of side quests, and I'm kind of doing it because I'm a completionist, but also kind of doing it because I didn't realize when I started the game that, hey, you don't need to do all of these. You get plenty of levels just from doing the main quest. So I wasted all that time when I could have been just main questing. So don't do what I did. Do the side quests that are actually beneficial. And we'll go on to number 9. This is for mostly later worlds, but this is a pretty obvious one as well, I feel, nowadays. But learn the boss cheats. If you're going to fight a boss with some teammates, here, you know what? I'll show you an example of a boss you need to know the cheats of. Take a little trip to the Death School. So number 9 is learn boss cheats. This just makes everyone's life super simple if everyone goes into battle and knows what to do. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna mute my phone. Whoops, how'd that open? But here, for example, if you were at level 100, you can go here. And in my first walkthrough episode, I went through all my characters' gear. And there's 3 dungeons in Darkmoor that all have bosses that cheat very extensively, and if you mess up, it takes so much time. So, for this place, the Gateway dungeon, where you get all the good gear for level 100 for Darkmoor gear. Just hop on the wiki and learn what cheats to do and what you cannot use. Yevgeny, the first boss, you need to know what you can and cannot do to him, what his weaknesses are, what his resistances are, and then you guys can go smoothly as a team. And if you're with someone that doesn't know the cheats, another thing you should be doing is, for one, don't be overly rude. People obviously might not know to check. They might not watch YouTube, and they might just be out of touch with the game. So if they ask for the cheats, if you know them off the top of your head, go and spit them out real quick so they helps the whole team. But do yourself a favor and learn the cheats so every group doesn't want to avoid you. And then we have number 10, the final helpful hint I am going to leave you guys with. This is something new wizards need to do. At a young level, at a very low level, like level 1, well, not level 1, it's at the level they unlock, but like, I think it's, I don't think I can tell, can I? Let's see. Gardening, crafting, fishing, no. Doesn't really say, but at a low level when you start the game, right when you can start doing it, start fishing, or start pet training, or start gardening. Anything that takes energy, start at a low level, so when you get, like for gardening for example, if you plan on having a couch potato farm, start gardening as soon as possible so you can get your gardening leveled up to level 3 with your dandelions or stinkweed or whatever you're going to use to level it up that far. And then when you hit, like, I don't know, I don't even know what they start the whole energy and gardening thing. I think it's like level 3. But either way, if you start at a low level, you can also start building your garden at a low level, and that just saves so much time. Like, Farley will really appreciate you guys if you start doing her gardening, his gardening, whatever this little mole dude's gender is, it's gardening at a low level. And you also get the most, the biggest thing, guys, is the energy is something you have to pay for or wait for or level up to get. So starting off at a low level, just going ahead and getting the prerequisite stuff out of the way will save you a lot of time and energy and money in the long run. So start your gardening, fishing, pet training, whatever thing you want to do that has energy, start it at a low level, so when you get to a higher level you won't have to do all that basic stuff and you can go right into it. So let's find a peaceful place and we will talk about, and we'll just go over and go through all 10 again real quick and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so to recap all of our 10 helpful hints I'm giving out in this video. Number 1, use the chest to transfer, store items, hold items, as in like all of your reagents, all of your pet snacks. Just use the chest, the bank, whatever you guys want to call it. Use it as much as you can because there's so much good use out of it. Number 2, don't quick sell items if you can help it. Use the bazaar as often as you can. It will save you a lot of money, give you a lot more money, and if you are going to quick sell, take the extra few seconds and feed your pet. You might get a few extra good things out of that. Okay. Then third thing, grab the Zeke quest when you start a new world. So the worlds that have the Zeke items tucked away in long dungeons, you won't have to redo twice. And this is only essential for the amount of worlds you think you're gonna like. I don't think you need to do every Zeke quest in every world. There's not a whole lot. Like, I mean, I've got every spell I need right now, and I still have 16 training points and a ton of quests I can do if I need more. So, don't think you need to do all of them, but the ones you do want to do, grab it right when you start the world. Sticking on with the training points, don't waste them. Use them on things that are important. Don't go into the storm school at like level 3 because you want to get the bats, because the bats do more than your scorpion or your troll or whatever. You're not going to be using that secondary school for that. Now, like if you're going for faint and you're like level 5, then yeah, go ahead and go into the death school and get that what is he called? Ghoul? Is that what he is? Yeah, Ghoul. Like, I mean, if you get Ghoul at like level 5 and you're just going to get your faint, then use him if you want to. Because at that level, I mean, no one really has resists that crazy, and if you can give you a hit that does health too, pretty cool. But don't waste your training points is number 4. Number 5, have a second account that holds all your treasure cards. It will save you a lot of storage space, and it'll help you build up your money empire. So I really recommend that. Number 6, every time before you level up, use your energy, and then after you level up, use your energy. And just do that repetitively every single time. It'll give you so many good pets. It'll keep your plants nourished. It'll let you have your fishing level shot up. It just saves you a lot of time and money on buying energy. Let's see. Moving on. Number 7, know what to purchase early on. Start with a permanent mount. After you get a mount, Red Barn Farms, highly recommended. If you don't plan on ever getting into gardening, first off, what are you doing? You need to get into gardening so you can get those good pets. But if you don't plan on doing gardening, then your next thing could be a house of other kinds, but I think every player should go for gardening. So permanent mount first, house second or third, and bazaar gear second or third. But definitely mount first with your gold, because you're going to be very limited to start off with unless you have like another account. Number 8, know what quests are important. Remember, crafting quests, very important. Main quest, obviously important. Training point quests, very important. Knock out as many of those as you can. But like, don't do every side quest in every world for like the first 7 worlds. You're wasting time, and there's plenty of XP that you can gain from just doing the main quest. Any quest that unlocks ability to get spells, also very important. Okay. Number 9, learn the boss cheats. It'll help you and your team save a lot of time, but don't be like a butthole to people that don't know all the spells or cheats or anything, because everyone was there at one point. I was there at one point, and some people don't watch YouTube and just do not have any idea. So, but learn the boss cheats. And the final thing, this 10th helpful hint, is to start your gardening, pet training, anything that takes energy, start it at a super low level so you will be able to get the maximum amount out of your energy and not have to waste money early on or later on trying to get your gardening to level 3. It'll already be level 3 by the time you really get going in Couch Potato World and stuff like that. So that was the 10 helpful hints that I have for y'all. If you have any more questions or suggestions for videos or anything you want to see in particular, please do let me know. I love doing the walkthrough series, but I thought it would be cool to spice it up and add a ranking video / a list video. So let me know what you guys think of this video. I had fun recording it for the second time because the first time I recorded it got corrupt, but this time I feel like I was more prepared. So thank you guys so much for watching. Excuse me. Hopefully I'll have both of these episodes out for you today to check out, but if you have any questions or any suggestions, please do let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye, guys.